Hello, this is Keith Patterson. You're listening to Season 3, Episode 1 of 90% Half True. And Season 1 was largely dedicated to promoting sales of my collection of short stories, also entitled 90% Half True. And all you got to do is click on the hyperlink on your homepage there for this podcast, and you can go right to Amazon and buy the book, the audiobook, or the ebook. All right. The audiobook is available on Audible. But today is Monday, August 21st, 2023. And, it hasn't, it gets crazier every day up in here. Luckily, for me, we're living in a little patch of paradise. It hadn't rained in many weeks, but we're a little worried about things drying out. Hearing about the wildfires in Maui, Lahaina. God bless you all. Goodness gracious, man, it's vicious. And there is a first ever hurricane tropical storm slammed California. Amazing. The weather is changing. The climate is changing. Hold fast. Be careful. Prepare. So much is going on. We got to love one another. Really, we got to do it, man. Y'all, ladies, young, we know it. We just got to do it. And enjoy it, man. Hopefully there's a fresh breath every day. Man, when the wildfires or smoke is pouring down from Canada, man, you can't even take a breath. I try to find some peace, because that stress will kill you. Anyway, hey, I want to play a song. This is an old song I just wrote. She makes me see deep inside my heart things I'd never know. That a part of me, oh, that a night, oh, hidey ho, oh, love of mine. That a part of me. Days and every night down through the years, been a part of she's a better part of me. Hey, this is a guitar, an old Washburn, 30, 40 years old, was my dad's. I just brought it up it had some issues, when I was slamming it around, the frets were feeling sticky, mushy, couldn't get clear notes in a lot of places. I took it up to Shenandoah Music, man, and they got this guitar tech up there, Brian, and he took a look at it, treated it reverently, and then suggested a fret dressing. I was like, what is that, man? So anyway, what that is, that's like the difference between a pretty good guitar and a real good guitar in a lot of ways, is a fret dressing. And what he did, he's got a little caliper. He can measure the fret heights everywhere and then file down rough places and high places, and especially the edge, the frets on the edges are very smooth now. And I used to always catch my fingers or a string during a bend, and that's gone. This is this, and it ring, man, this is. You know, I mean, this guitar never sounded so good. Thank you, Brian Shenandoah Music. So anyway, I shall put the guitar aside and get down to business at hand. You know, man, we got to keep supporting Ukraine. We got to be diligent about staying well. And man, the vaccine, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm getting every vaccine I can. Just got my second shingles vaccine. It was like being punched in the arm, but that's okay. A few days later, I'm good as gold. Didn't affect my recent gig. Just my strumming arm, excuse me. Anyway, man, if you don't know me, I am retired. Just recently was able to retire. You know, my friends and family might say, retire from what? You know, and it's, I mean, I can dig it, you know, but I've painted a lot of houses. I've been a substitute teacher for many years, painting even more houses. And finally, my last exterior was about 6 months ago. And I was doing some crazy moves, man. I was like, gee whiz. I was painting a metal roof 30, 40 feet up in the air, an old farmhouse. And with a chicken ladder, with several chicken ladders, man. I had one ladder going up to one roof, another ladder on that roof going up to the second roof, and then a chicken ladder on the upper roof, all tied together. And I'm climbing all the way up there with 35 pounds of sprayer hose, 50, actually I got 75 feet on that sprayer, up there spraying out that ceiling, that roof. And, I had a couple of come to Jesus moments up there, but I told you that story to tell you about this. This is an example of how, man, if we get past politics and religion, people are really decent and they help each other out. So like when I was painting that house, including the roof and the rest of it, stucco and trim, I'm also working on the job were some, MAGA types, good old boys, landscapers, concrete masons, things of that nature, carpenters. And there's a lot of stuff going on getting built. And, man, I was the only one that obviously voted on my side of the fence. Man, I had my bumper sticker on my truck said, "Howitzers for Hillary." So you know where I'm leaning. Anyway, so it wasn't contentious, but it was them and me. But one day I was doing the toughest maneuver in my whole contract. It was like that part of the roof where I needed the first ladder, the second ladder, the third ladder. So I'm up 3 ladders. The whole house wasn't like that, but this place was, half of it was like that. Anyway, the leader of the crew, one of the crews, suddenly he got serious. It was no more grief about politics or anything. It was, "Keith, I see what you're doing there, and don't hesitate. If you need help right now, I will help you." And, man, I didn't need his help. Well, I probably needed his help, but I declined because I wanted to show him what I could do. And so I did that move, and I worked myself and let those guys watch me. But anyway, what has stuck with me is the fact that this guy from the other side of the aisle, he saw a need based on safety. I mean, what I was doing was not safe. I needed a 3-man crew at least. And, but I'm an old dog, man. I've been been doing this my whole life. So anyway, but what stuck with me is, man, he saw my need and he responded, man to man. It was like the politics were gone. There was nothing at all, you know, adversarial in his tone, man. He was right on board to help me, man, and that sticks with me. And you know, we're out here kind of in the country, but I tell people, you know, I've had some, you know, liberal-leaning friends who are thinking of moving out here, and they're worried. They're like, you know, man, it's like MAGA country. It's a little scary. I'm like, you know, I guarantee you, it's like if you're people, there's one way in over here, man, Route 7 over the mountain. And during rush hour in the winter, you got to go over Mount Weather. And man, it can get hairy, man. I mean, it can get hairy. And people go off the road all the time. And but this is the reality, man. It doesn't matter if you got your howitzers for Hillary bumper sticker. If you go off the road, the first, you know, first mountain man in a pickup truck with a winch that goes by is going to pull off and help you out, man. It's just the way people are. People are basically good. People are basically helpful, and you know, they really are. But you got to get out and live a little bit. You got to turn your machines off. You gotta drive down the road. You gotta, you know, go into the store. You gotta go in for a beer. You gotta, you know, man, see people that you haven't talked to in a while. Call them up, man. I've got a lot. In fact, 95%. I'm no exaggeration. 95% of my friends and family are Republican. You know, I mean, it's like so. I've always been the outlier, not so much an outright liar as an outlier. No, here's the thing about me and lying. I'm not a liar, I'm a bullshitter. I'm always looking for a way to do a cut up, you know, and have somebody go, really? And I get to go, no, not really. And here's the thing, you know, I want you to know about me. If you actually bald-faced ask me, is that true? Well, I would never, ever lie at that point. Man, it's just not my thing, you know. So, you know, read the book, collection of stories, 90% half true, 90% half true. And then ask me anything you want, man. Most of it, like, fiction is hard. Anyway. Fiction's hard anyway. And that was before fiction is dead. Fiction is now dead. And it's not because of, it's just hard to write. It's not because of the readers all of a sudden say, oh, fiction's dead. No, it's because it's so difficult now because, excuse me, everything is just so crazy and everything is happening all the time. And how am I going to write something more outrageous than what happens every day in reality, you know? But I'm still trying. My next novel is being written constantly, every day. My next novel, this is my first real novel. And, you know, I'm trying. It's going to be the greatest thing. It's the greatest story ever told. And it's taken some time. As these things do, you know, but I'll update you more. Right now, what it is, man, it's a series of vignettes, and I have a partner who's a videographer, and very creative person. I'm not going to drag his name through, right. But anyway, we are in the process of creating, and he's got a movie camera, and and he's doing his first movie right now. Professionally, but we are plotting. We've been working on it for years. It's the first 5 minutes of a movie with 8 vignettes that go boom, 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 boom. I don't know how many that was, but 8 vignettes that are all going to be related and you have just the thinnest sense of possibility that they could be related, but it's like 8 compelling vignettes. And every time I write one, it's like I hear on the news that they just discovered that already just happened. I'm like, geez. You know, I mean, it is difficult to come up with stuff that is not already done, and to stay away from time travel and violence and gratuitous sex. I have a lot of trouble with that last one. But, hey, this is the first episode of a new season. Season 3, 90% half true. You know, nothing rhymes with podcast, or I would throw like a little couplet at you right now in Shakespearean form. Nothing rhymes with podcast, unless you eat a lot on even days, and then you have an odd fast when you're doing your podcast. Anyway, hey, I reach deep in my pocket for you every day, my loves. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with you soon. We'll talk even more about my book. And man, things are going on every day. What I'm going to start doing, man, I'm going to go up to 7-Eleven, buy 3 different newspapers, and maybe start the podcasts with little tasty tidbits of what's going on. Maybe not. You know, we'll have to see. I had to just start. I had to do this first podcast of season 3 without really having a clear focus. You know, because if I did wait until my focus was clear, I might never do it, you know? Now, there's a couple of reasons that my focus has not been clear. Weed is now legalized somewhat in Virginia, and I've been taking advantage of the, you know, so part of my podcast will be my daily confessional. Much love to you. Signing off.